So this is John. He just got home from school and he is not happy right now. He came in from school immediately showing aggressive behaviors. Now, at this point, I'm not even going to try to figure out why. Is what I'm going to do is figure out what to do about it.
You can tell when he's walking, you know? They're that long.
So, you'll notice John has barricaded himself in this blanket, which is actually good for me. First of all, if he's in the blanket, he can't pinch or anything like that, so that's a really good time to do some compressions on his back. I'm just going to give him some squeezes. Squeeze his little leg. So I'm giving a fair amount of pressure. So I have a two-part goal for this. First of all, the compressions are to help self-regulate, but also so that he'll tolerate human touch so that we can do other forms of therapy while we're doing this today. So right now, this is more about self-regulation than anything. Hi John, how are you? How was school today, buddy? Do you want to tell me all about it? I've been looking forward to seeing you. You may ask yourself, what would cause a child to act like this? Well, it could be a lot of things. He could be in pain. He could have a really bad stomach ache. And since he's nonverbal, he has no way to tell you that he has a stomach ache. So everything that's going on with him is displayed through what appears as behaviors. But is it really a behavior when you're in severe pain and you can't tell anybody? Hi, John. There he is.
I gotta go get Josie in a second. Yeah.
You need a film?
Yes.
Alright, can I get on this pillow?
Sure.
Hey kiddo, you ready for your medicine? Real quick.
And?
Good work. Thank you.
You call right here.
Now, I also want you to ask yourself, he's been at school all day long. He's been receiving therapies at school. So keep in mind, he's been manhandled, told what to do. His whole day has been structured. So you got to remember, he needs some time to be a kid. So as much as I want to run in there and give him compressions all over, I also want to give him his space. So I am going to be giving him compressions and other sensory modalities, but I'm going to respect that he's been dealing with this all day long and may just want to be left alone. So. Hi, John. How's my buddy? Can I have a high five? Can I have a high five? High five? May I have a high five? Please don't pinch me. That hurts. Yeah, pinching hurts. If you hear squealing in the background, that's my daughter trimming a dog's nails.
Sorry. There we go. Oh.
Hey John, how are you today, buddy? Come here. Let me have some squeezes. Give me some of those squeezes. I want them. I want all the squeezes. What are you going to do today, John? You want to go on your swing? Oh, you want the sensory kit? He knows what's in here. This is the good old-fashioned OT sensory kit. Look, John. This vibrates. It's a foot massager. I use it.
He's wearing his shoes. Did he have his shoes on?
He did have his shoes on. Yeah, he didn't even take them off. He's such a good boy. Okay, one of the things I want to be careful of, I don't want to like surround him where he doesn't have an exit, because if he feels trapped, that could cause a fight or flight response, which is often confused for behavior. That's not a behavior, that's fight or flight. I'm trapped, I gotta get out. So try not to confuse behavior with fight or flight. What do you want, John? Show me what you want, buddy. What do I got? Can I see your arm? Can I see it? I try to be respectful and ask. Sometimes I just jump in and do compressions and stuff. Sometimes I ask. Right now he wants me to ask. May I see your arm? Can I see it? Yeah. So you don't want this one. I know what you want. You want this one. Vibration, you have to be careful. Vibration can be very calming, but it can also be very alerting. So you have to be careful that you're not making an alert state versus a calm state. How do you know when? Well, you get your degree, you go to work, you work with about 50 kids, and eventually you start figuring it out. That's how you know. I honestly can't tell you any other truth than that. Yeah, I know, you want to put it in your mouth and you want to eat it. You can't eat my brush. You can't eat my brush. You can't eat it. Right now, I'm trying to give him as much tactile input as I can. Anything proprioceptive would be wonderful, so jumping, any kind of compressions. June, please. All right, here.
June.
You ready? You ready, John? 1, 2, 3. Any kind of deep squeezes. Try to make it fun. Like I said, I'm not trying to imprison him, basically. I always leave him a way out. I'm only doing this because I know him. I know what I can and can't get away with. Make sure you know the kid that you're working with before you just grab him and pick him up. You're liable to get head-butted and bit. Isn't that right, John? It can happen if you don't like your kiddos. Let's go outside.
Jim.
Jump, John, jump. Let's jump. Really, John? Thank you. Jump. The high fives are great. Think about like wrist compressions. High fives are very similar. Any kind of hard physical activity right now. Anything hard on the joints is wonderful. Squeeze. He's also playing, so he's not being forced to do therapy. Is that right, John? I do tabletop activities and such as that, but when he gets home from school, this is more about decompressing. So we're not worried about doing structured activities at this point. All right. You want to get on your swing?
Hey, buddy.
Want to swing? If he'll tolerate it, the times like this would be a good time for foot massages, hand massages, or actually deep tissue mobilization, I think is how you would say it. OTs don't do massages. John! Oh, here's another thing. You notice I'm following him around? It's a very hard habit to kick. You shouldn't just chase the kid around the yard. How would you like to have a shadow? that's just like right on you all the time. And see my voice, I have to calm my voice down now. Way too loud. So, yes, you want to do therapy, but you don't want to be right on him, following him everywhere. You want him to come to you. Isn't that right, John? Isn't that right, my buddy? Who is my best buddy in the whole wide world? It's John. I'm sneaking in compressions right now as he's jumping. Little arm compressions. Yeah. Anything to help initiate the human touch, to tolerate the modalities that we're going to be using later. If you can't touch him, how are you going to work with him? You ready, John? Jump, jump, jump. Squeeze and jump. Squeeze. Squeeze his little arm. Let's get it really squeezed. Let's give him some squishes. Let's give him some squishes. You gotta be really careful when you work with some kids. If you get your face too close, you really could put yourself in danger. And if it happens, you can't be mad at the child. You put your face there. So always remember where you're at and what you're doing. And then when things do happen, you won't be mad at the child. You'll be mad at yourself. You'll tell yourself, why I put myself there. What's in your mouth, John? Always watch for precautions. In this case, the precaution is pica. It could be pica. I believe it's pica. But he had a piece of a handle in his mouth. So I'm always watching for things. Now, we're trying to get him to be able to sit down and eat. But the fact that he's even at the table and he's not running around, I think that's a good step. I'm not going to reprimand him for sitting there eating because he's being good. So in this particular case, a lot of times food can actually be a sensory modality. The chewing, the grinding, all those sensations of the jaw, especially for a child that is diagnosed with pica. But just like anybody else, he gets hangry. Just like me. You get too hungry, you get angry. This is John's swing. So see, I just want you to notice, he started walking towards the swing. I was right behind him. Bad habit. Try not to chase your kids. It's instinctual. You just want to run over there and do therapy with them. Back off a little bit. Always remember that. You ready, John? Let me know when you're ready.
So they haven't fixed it yet, so I don't think he feels stable on
Oh, he can't do the swinging yet.
Yeah.
It's not. His swing is kind of broke, so right now he's just gonna. This is still okay, but he can't swing on it like a normal swing at this time.
it. If I sit on the other side, he can swing. But that's the only way we figured it out
If I
so
sit on
far.
the other side, he'll flip across the wall. High fives? Boom. That was a good one. John, can you look at me, buddy? Hey, John. Yes.
Yes.
That's him saying yes. This is yes. This is no. John. Hey, buddy. Did you have a good day at school today? Can you say yes or no? You did have a good day? Well, that's awesome. I know that with autism, a lot of times asking them to stare at you could be very awkward feeling for the child. So I'm not asking him to like just stare at me, but I do like to get facial contact, eye contact, just for recognition that we are communicating. And then after that, I say what I have to say. He can look away if he wants. I just want the initial contact.
Can I get a high five? Thank you.
That was good.
Oh, John. What did you do today? The small handholds are a sign of affection. So that means that he's welcoming me in, which lets me know that I can now start doing a little more aggressive therapy. Before it was just all about acceptance. Now it's about actually working with him. Do you gotta go potty? Have you pottied today? Have you gone potty today? A little bit. Well, you guys won't see it, but in a little bit we're gonna go to the potty. You'll notice he's already starting to calm down a little. There'll be little bouts of up and down, but just compressions, attention, space, those combinations are already, in my opinion, showing an effect. Vocal control, which is really hard when you're exciting like me. I love to talk really loud. So I'm literally just doing little compressions. Hi, John. Everybody's different. Not everybody will tolerate this or even want it. He requests compressions quite a bit, so this is why I'm doing this. In 3 months from now, it may all change. He may want something else. But since it works, I'm going for it. Also, the head. He has a lot of sensitivities to his head, so I try to touch his head, do little scalp palpitations. One thing for the showering, for the shampooing, but also the main reason why I started doing that was to tolerate haircuts. I also use brushes, those little head massagers that you get from the dollar store. I also use the brush, that you would use for the Wilber's brushing protocol. I use that on his nails and on his feet to desensitize his fingers so that he'll tolerate toenail clipping and fingernail clipping. We've had a lot of progress with that, so I know it works. Okay, I'll be right back. This is just a simple foam ball. And what can you do with this? You can roll it all over John. Yeah. And then you can give it to Chewy. Chewy can eat it. Chewy, you back here. You bad dog. But you could use a simple ball like this. Roll it on his arms, his back, his belly. And because it's styrofoam, it won't hurt him. Or not styrofoam, but foam. Obviously, he's telling me at this particular moment that's not what he's wanting, so I'm going to wait just a minute and I'll attempt this again. Go, John, go. Some nice vestibular activities. So this is what you would call minimum aversion. He touched it and was kind of, but it's not maximum or moderate. This would be minimum aversion to the tactile sensation of this ball, which could also be called the sensation of doll. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. It's mainly because it's something new, which could also be considered a transition. Anytime you transition from one state to another, you may expect behaviors or aversion. Hey, so we're going to introduce it. The reason I'm not letting him have it is he will throw it over the wall. Yeah, you'll throw it over the wall. Because I know these things. So the look he just gave me, I'm very familiar with him. That was a get out of my face look. You got to know your client. You got to get familiar with their facial expressions. Hey, John. What you doing, buddy? Nothing ever goes like you plan, so it's not like you're just going to run in with this ball and run it all over his whole body and it's going to be better. You just keep trying until you finally get some progress. And if he starts to have a behavior over it, stop. You don't want to upset him. You can't always cave in, but you can't always push. It just depends on who you're working with and what's going on. Isn't that right, John? And this has nothing to do with this, but you can also use a ball to do myofascial release. Just thought I'd throw that in there. Look how calm he's getting. Oh, he's like he's hypnotized. He's got the vibrating toothbrush, the calm voice, compressions. We have a happy John. So now I'm just going to back up while he's happy. I'm just going to leave him alone for a minute. And then we're going to turn the camera off for now, and I'll show you some more stuff here in a little bit. Thanks.